Hi, I'm Josh Brazil, CIO with the Rural Health Network of Oklahoma, technical analyst for Blue Cirrus Consulting. I have many years experience in telemed projects all over the place, but particularly in rural areas. So I'm here today to share with you some tips for making your project successful. I think the most important part, and where we all start, usually, well, you have a need, so you go out to select a technology, a vendor product, your tool to do the job. That process typically goes one of three ways. It's done in a rush, and you can get lucky or fail there, or you put in some time, or really do all of the diligence. And I like doing things fast, but putting in the work on the front end of your technology selection saves a lot of time and money, just almost without fail. It is the way to go. Blue Cirrus specializes in that. You probably have talented staff on hand who can put in the work and the legwork in front too, but selecting the wrong technology, the wrong tool for the job, slows down and hinders the project. There are dozens of vendors out there now, so it's not the same space it was 10 years ago, where technology was the hurdle and you needed the company of one or two who could provide the experience that was needed. There are literally dozens that I haven't used in different places with projects that do a very good job, and there are undoubtedly more. The pandemic and explosion in use of telehealth has helped out there too. So with those technologies, the fleshed out telemed technologies that encrypt everything in transit and at rest, they were important and they were good projects before the pandemic and during and after. There was a public health emergency that allowed use of other technologies that were less secure, non-encrypted, and it was allowed. So you weren't going to be fined, you weren't going to be in HIPAA trouble for using those, but safety and security should already be there, and you can comply with HIPAA standards affordably. So trying to hang on to those technologies or go a route that's maybe a button push or too easy or at the expense of security is typically not a very good idea. So overall, as far as the technology goes, know that there are many out there that can do the job, and that putting in the due diligence beforehand is the important part of that process. So for rural healthcare, and the audience I'm speaking to here from the Virginia Rural Health Association, rural bandwidth can be a challenge that we all deal with, but that's all over the spectrum. Rural doesn't mean a single thing other than you're not in a designated urban area. So the bandwidth can be great or terrible or anywhere in between. So as far as bandwidth goes, to begin, there are good tools out there. There's some overall information at broadband.fcc.gov. I think they consider a lot of areas well covered that aren't those. So there are deeper data sets available from Microsoft and other sources to let you drill down. When you get there, though, you're living in the community, and so are your patients. And you know the area better than an overall national survey. So the key is really testing the bandwidth available and the connection in the particular use case with your docs and patients where they're going to be. We can dig deeper into that and probably go all day, but overall, as far as bandwidth goes for rural telemed delivery, it runs the gambit, and on-site testing is the way to go there. You need to know that what you have is going to work where you're using it. So beyond selection, beyond bandwidth, we need to think about the things we're setting up, the procedures, the technology, the work that it's going to work going forward into the future. That's a tough prediction. It's hard to know what comes, and I've failed at that several times, like everyone has. But some general trends that you can take with you: bandwidth need is always increasing. Everything we have, from our phones to computers to the EHRs and telemed technology, will take more bandwidth as time goes on. So in an overall plan, plan to expand that, and the numbers that we have today may seem great, and they're a great improvement over the past, but looking forward, more will be required. So that encapsulates the overall telemed technology tips that I have today. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to the Virginia Rural Health Association, and thank you for your time.